Hello, happy Day of the Dead. Happy day after Halloween. I feel a little bit dead. I would say I have a Halloween hangover. Maybe you do too. Not a legit hangover, not an alcohol hangover, even though I did have one apple cider and dark rum cocktail last night as we were walking around trick-or-treating, but more of just an energy hangover. My kids, as they were running down the street with their friends, my daughter shared with me, she said, "Mom, I like Halloween so much better than Christmas because we get to stay up so late and we get to eat as much candy as we want." And that pretty much explains my night last night. My kids eating so much candy and staying up as late as they wanted. I mean, they were bouncing off the walls. Luckily, my son, who is always the thoughtful and pensive and cautious one, said, "Mom, I'm only having 3 pieces of candy because I don't want to get any cavities." So he conked out like a light just as soon as we put him in bed. But my daughter, oh my gosh, she was hyped up on Halloween happiness. So hopefully you all are recovering from an amazing holiday. And this week you've been sending in another batch of awesome questions. I can't wait to dive in. And if you have a question, don't hesitate. Send it to me right here, right now. You can leave it on our Facebook page. You can send it to Betsy at affordableinteriordesign.com. I love tackling your design dilemmas, whether or not I'm on the top of my game, because today I am a little bleary-eyed. The other thing that I wanted to mention, why I am so bleary-eyed, is we are in the full thrust of our busy season. The phones are ringing off the hook. In fact, I should probably turn mine off right now. They're ringing off the hook. We are working with so many interesting clients. Tomorrow, I have 3 clients. One return client who I work with all the time. He's a blast, and he just wants me to always come and pick out fresh, trendy new items to accessorize his space. So I work with him maybe once every 6 months, and that is always fun. I know I'm going to have an hour of shopping and brainstorming, and he has a great design aesthetic on his own. So I really just show up and say, yes, no, see you next year. And everything works out great. And then I have a client who just had a baby 2 weeks ago. So I don't know how they're finding time to meet with me, but design is a priority, especially when you're spending a ton of time at home with a newborn. So I can see why you might carve out some energy to work with me, just so that way you can get everything settled and, of course, have it be baby friendly. Even though one myth I do want to dispel is you don't have to make your home baby friendly until the baby is about 9 months old. They're not really going to be moving independently in terms of walking or getting into mischief until about that age. So you may want to eliminate the sharp corners just in case, the baby takes a spill or crawls next to a glass coffee table, but you won't really have to tackle those issues in terms of, making sure the cabinet doors don't open, making sure that the outlets are plugged up until they're very mobile, which tends to be 9 months, earliest case maybe 6 months. So don't worry, guys, you have some time. And then I'm working with another return client who just found out they were pregnant with. So they're preparing, they're moving to a brand new space. And I worked with them when they were newlyweds. So I can't wait to check in again because it's been a couple of years. And it's always fun to watch my clients on the path through life, through the different phases, through what they're going through. I love following up and seeing what's going on. So that's going to be exciting. One thing that is not exciting, one thing I want to use my special platform here to share a pet peeve of mine that has been on my mind all day, because I received an email from a client. She is so sweet. She is a lovely woman. Her space is spectacular. But she wrote me because I really needed some inspiration images. I really needed to have a clear idea of the vision she was hoping for so that I could translate it for her in a way she felt excited about. So I wrote her and I said, would you send me some inspiration pictures of a bedroom so that way I can make sure I'm really translating your vision to your space with your budget? She writes me back, Betsy, I just looked at about 1,000 bedrooms online and I don't like anything. Good luck. Serenity now. Where is my essential lavender oil for relaxation when you need it? That is very tough. I am going to give a little Betsy Smackdown to that client, even though I'm not sure she's listening. If you have looked through 1,000 pictures, if this situation resonates with you, do not put your designer in this place. We are not going to be able to pull a rabbit out of our hat. I am not going to be able to come up with a design scheme that she has never seen before out of thousands of images that is completely different than anything she's ever imagined for herself. If you can't figure out what you like after looking at lots of pictures, after reviewing lots of ideas, if nothing looks good, I won't be able to help you. And I'm not sure I know a designer who could. Basically, you are setting us up for failure. I want you to love the look. And you know what? As somebody who recently designed my own home and was going through pages and pages of inspiration photos to determine what my vision would be, I was really stuck. There were actually so many pictures I liked that it was hard to choose a lane, to choose a style, to choose one path that felt right, because there were so many I was into that finally I had to rope in one of my designers whose eye I really trust. And I said, Rachel, please look all these spaces over and tell me which one aligns with where I should be going, because I feel a little bit lost. And I am a professional, so I understand the paralysis that comes into play when you're selecting that final look for your own space. But if you're not seeing anything you like, if you have looked at every store for the perfect sofa, if you have searched every website for those drapes that are just going to knock your socks off and you don't find them, chances are we're not going to find them either. So it's very important that you search your soul, that you ask yourself, what kind of person am I? What is my expectation? Because if you're expecting someone to show you something you've never seen before, if you're expecting someone to be able to source something for you that's not on any website, then what you need is a full-time designer. You are what we call a lovely, and a word that I use for my own daughter, particular client. And a particular client needs a lot of hand-holding. A particular client who really can't find anything they like in the retail sphere needs a high-end designer. You need somebody that you're going to pay a lot of money to be your BFF and go shopping with you everywhere. But when you hire affordable interior design, we have to be able to find things at the thousands of different websites that are going to resonate with you. So I'm just feeling a little bit stuck because I got that email, that good luck email from my client this morning. And then I also got this message from Ariel, which Ariel, I love it that you sent me a question. But again, this was fodder for that Betsy Smackdown, because you wrote me, Betsy, I have general ideas about what I like, but much like with food, I need to refine my decor palette. Any ideas? So Ariel, I'm excited that you are looking for your style, that you're actively on the hunt. When people are looking for inspiration pictures that resonate with them, the first place I tell them to go is Houzz. Houzz has this great search engine where you can type in the room you're looking for, you can modify it by style, and they have gazillions of pictures. So you can scroll through like you're flipping pages in a magazine and see a wide range of styles, locations. These are real spaces. They're not like 3D renderings. So you can really get a sense of how things might look in your own space. When you're thinking about hiring a designer, you also want to go through the pictures on their website. In our case, we have pictures on our website. We also have a large variety of mood boards on our website, so you can see projects we're actively working on. If you scroll through all those pictures and you don't see one thing that resonates with you in any way, then you realize that you've found the wrong company. And also you should be noticing too that you might fall into that category of particular client. When I'm working with a client, and for instance, it just happened not 30 minutes ago. I was working with a client and we were looking for a sleeper sofa. And she said, Betsy, I need a sleeper sofa, and it needed to match these very specific measurements, and it also needed to match a very specific mid to low level price point. And she said, I showed her two options. One had 2 cushions, one had 3 cushions. And she said, Betsy, I only want a 3 cushion sleeper based on what I'm seeing here. No problem. Let's find options together. So we went to my favorite sleeper sites, which I'll be revealing momentarily. And as we were looking through them, according to the measurements we needed for her space, there really weren't any sleepers in her price range that had 3 cushions. And she's like, Betsy, I had no idea it would be this hard to find. And that is what can really help. That is why I make clients go look for inspiration pictures. If you can't find a sofa you like amongst the hundreds of options, if you can't find a room you like amongst the thousands of options, well, it just may not exist. And so that kind of reality check is so important. That's why I work with my clients one-on-one. That's why in cases where they're not finding what they like, I have us look together. I make it very collaborative because I want them to get a sense of, oh, this item really isn't out there, or it really isn't out there in my price range, or it really isn't out there unless I do custom. And that can be a real eye-opener for people. And then they can say, oh, you know what? I'm going to have to pivot. We can't pull that magical rabbit out of our hat. So sorry for the Betsy Smackdown people, but this is a reality check, whether you're working with our firm, whether you're working with another designer, or whether you're just searching for something on your own. Check out the landscape, see if it's available. If not, so many of my clients, because they can't find that perfect 3-cushion sleeper that fits their budget and fits the dimensions of their space, they never buy anything. And that's a problem too. That is design paralysis, and you can't go without a couch for years because you're not finding that perfect one. So there's always these parameters we have to work within, this yin and yang. But I want you to keep that in mind. Don't let your lack of indecision paralyze you to a point where you don't live with anything. So make sure you're looking for things that you like. Check out the landscape, look for those inspiration pictures, and only call a designer after you see that, yes, what you're looking for may very well be out there. All right, let's get to my next question. Ariel, I hope that answered yours. All right, my next question this week is actually regarding sleeper sofas. So I'm going to go right to that one because Emily wrote, Betsy, my guest room is soon to become a nursery. We live far from our family and they visit us often. I want to have a comfortable place to sleep when they stay with us. What are your thoughts on sleeper sofas? Can you recommend any brands that are well built and actually comfortable? We've gone the cheap route before and regretted it as the beds were super comfortable. Oh, super uncomfortable, excuse me. The only brand I have heard good things about is American Leather's Comfort Sofa. I would love some help pointing me in the right direction to brands to look at and what elements to focus on, as I no longer trust my own judgment after making the wrong choice twice before. Thanks, Emily. I do have preferred vendors for sleeper sofas. I was just speaking about that with my client not 20 to 30 minutes ago, Emily. So my favorite brands are Room and Board and Crate & Barrel. They actually share a manufacturer, even though they offer different styles, different price points, and otherwise are not affiliated as far as I know. So the thing I like about them is you can actually go sit and nap on their sleeper sofas. They have a showroom where you can try these things out because everybody has a different expectation of what's comfortable, a different sense of what they would love to sleep on, which is why there are so many thousands of mattress options. So you will want to go try these out. And I feel like Crate & Barrel and Room and Board not only have really sophisticated styles, a huge range of fabrics, but also their prices are more mid-level, which feels comfortable to me financially. There are also some that I like at Macy's. It can be hit or miss. Again, Macy's has a great showroom, so you would call ahead to see if the sleeper is on their showroom, and I highly recommend going there. I mean, this purchase, whether you spend $1,500 or $4,500, is fairly significant. It's much more than a normal sofa. So I really encourage you to go check it out, go try it. And those are my favorite places. Now, of course, there is that American Leather option, and now it's offered at Raymore and Flanigan, but that is more of the upper tier of your price range. So we are looking more at that $3,500 to $5,000 if you're doing a custom fabric. So think about that because most of my clients are not willing to pay that for their sleeper sofa. Emily, I hope that helped. Go ye, get ye to a Room and Board or a Crate & Barrel, and if all else fails, a Raymore and Flanigan. Okay, we have one final question today before I hop off. So let's see here. Oh, Crystal wrote me. She wrote, Betsy, what is a good source for removable, temporary, self-adhesive wallpaper? I'm looking for solid or medium to large floral patterns. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal, This day and age, you can get removable wallpaper at lots of different sites. There are great ones at Wayfair. Overstock has some options. Hayneedle has some options. In your case, and in the case of my client who lived across from the UN this week, I just Googled removable wallpaper and then what I was looking for. So I was looking for removable wallpaper in aqua. So I put removable wallpaper aqua on Google, and then I put removable wallpaper teal, because that's another way to search for that same color tone. And I think I found some at House. I found some at Wayfair. And then for her living room, I was also thinking about going with a gold geometric. So I put that in there, removable wallpaper gold. There are so many fabulous options at all these different sites. It's not just one location anymore. So I highly recommend just doing a general Google search and only getting specific, not about the store, but rather about the color or the style. So I hope that helped, Crystal. Happy shopping. Until next week, guys, keep your questions rolling in either on Affordable Interior Design's Facebook page or, of course, on my email, Betsy@affordableinteriordesign.com. I love answering your questions, and the holidays are coming up soon. So ask me those questions before you hit those sale racks or before you shop to complete your look for holiday entertaining. All right, guys, until next week, see ya.